if I had things my way and I was running creative and I had to pick the last four, the final four, the last time is now tournament, it definitely wouldn't be Jay, wouldn't be LA Knight, it wouldn't be Solo, wouldn't be Gunther. And I'm going to give you my reasons why in a moment, why it wouldn't be those four. If I had it my way, the four that I would choose, the final four of the tournament, would have been Penta, Javon Evans, Ilya Dragunov, and Braun Breaker. That would have been my final four right there. Those four men right there, I would have put them at the front line, the front runner up, and see which one of them would face John Cena in his last match next month in December. And the reason why I would say those four is because, one, these guys are just now coming up in the scene, right? With Braun Breaker, he is the undisputed future, or I should say, he's primed to be the guy, right? He's primed to beat CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. He's groomed. Having Braun Breaker retire John Cena is a perfect storm. No matter how you feel about him, the guy's ultra intense, fierce in the ring, super athletic, right? He's badass in the ring. He gets it done. He's good on the mic. He's proven himself to be a decent talker, and he's going to remind you of Scott Steiner in a lot of ways. And I guarantee you it would be a good story for Braun Breaker to be the one that puts John Cena's career to rest. And John Cena doing the favors for Braun Breaker would just be icing on the cake, because it would already now establish a brand new star, a legitimate top guy that retired, that's being touted as one of the all-time greats in the company. Penta would be a good front runner-up because he's brand new onto the scene and he's not all the way familiarized. But if the whole point of the tournament is to establish new up-and-coming superstars to get their feet wet, Penta is the best candidate. So is Javon Evans. Javon Evans, this tournament was made for young OG. I don't care. I would have had Javon Evans beat Gunther by countout. I would have done it. I would have had an upset victory of Javon Evans over Gunther. Yep. I would have booked that. I would have booked Ilya Dragunov, despite him being the US champion and all. I would book him in the tournament. Why not? The man's been gone for a whole year. He's been putting on banger matches, a US champion. He's another one that's ultra intense, gets it done in the ring, and he's always had a bright future, Ilya Dragunov. And I think the prospect of him challenging John Cena would be interesting, because the whole point is to establish newer stars, stars that you're not used to seeing in the limelight. We haven't seen Ilya Dragunov in the limelight. Same thing with Penta, same thing with Javon Evans. Now, Braun Breaker's a different case, but the difference is with him, he's been groomed to be the guy. So what better way to establish that would be for him to beat John Cena in his last match? What better way than have him dominate and just run through John Cena? Now, the only problem that I have is the Intercontinental Championship on being on the line. See, in this case, right, this does not benefit either LA Knight, Gunther, Solo Sikoa, or Jey Uso, because, well, Solo Sikoa and LA Knight, they're former US champions, but Gunther and Jey, they're former world champions and former Intercontinental champions. So I feel that it would be a step down, let's say Gunther, if he goes to the finals and he beats John Cena, retires him. It wouldn't make sense for Gunther to do that when he already retired Goldberg. You already have that notch on his belt. He can win world championships by himself. He won the King of the Ring, longest reigning Intercontinental champ. He would not need the Intercontinental Championship. It would be a step down for him. But however, the match is fresh. Gunther and John Cena. Same thing with LA Knight and John Cena. With LA Knight, his momentum has stalled badly. He has not been the same since Roman Reigns, sadly enough. Out of the four guys, I would choose LA Knight because why not? Give him that rub. If you're going to establish him, now would be the perfect time to do so. Guy has been putting in work, busting his ass. I mean, I don't see why he's not part of War Games. I mean, he was in every Raw, SmackDown match with every member of the Vision for the past few months. So that doesn't make any sense. With LA Knight and John Cena, it's a fresh match for the Intercontinental Championship. And it would look good for LA Knight to retire John Cena. With Jey Uso, no. Jey Uso has been unimpressive. He has regressed a lot. I have not been impressed with Jey Uso at all. I think he has regressed a lot. And he's gotten comfortable. He went from main event Jey Uso, right hand man Jey, to being the mascot, the Yeet mascot. So I would have to say no to Jey on that one because I don't want to see Jey retire John Cena. I don't think he deserves that honor, and I don't think he earned it. Same thing with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa has his stock has dropped so much since the Bloodline feud. I know they're trying with Solo Sikoa. I know they're trying to get back on track with his booking. They're trying to find ways to make him look dominant, to make him look like a threat. I get that. I really do. And I actually want Solo to have a more prominent position on the card. I want him to be booked like a monster, how he was when he was in the Bloodline. The problem is they have watered him down so much this year. It's not even funny. And then when he beat John Cena at Crown Jewel, and here's the thing, right? The guy already beat John Cena at Crown Jewel, and he did nothing with that victory. So, what sense would it make for Solo to retire John Cena and he doesn't win the Royal Rumble? He doesn't win a world championship. He doesn't go on to do bigger and better things. What would be the point of him retiring John Cena? Right? You can ask the same question with Gunther and Jey. What's the point? Gunther has nothing to gain. He's fine without retiring John Cena. He does not need that notch on his belt. A better notch for Gunther would for him to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's a bigger notch for Gunther. Jey don't need it. He hasn't earned it. It ain't that he don't need it, is that Jey hasn't earned it because he hasn't been blowing people away with his performances on the microphone and in the ring. He has been lackluster, man. Real talk. LA Knight to me is the only one out of the final four that has earned it, has earned to retire John Cena. He's the lesser of the two evils with me because out of the four that I would have picked to be the final four, um, they're among the best options. They're among the best options, right? I would take Javon Evans, Ilya Dragunov, Penta, and Braun Breaker over any of those four guys. Any of those four guys that I had picked and chose to be the final four, Any one of those guys could realistically retire John Cena, because the whole purpose was of this tournament was to establish new, upcoming, fresh superstars. Talent you don't get to see very often, right? It's not about the existing veterans. It's not about the ones that have been around for a hot minute. No, 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 no. This tournament was built for guys like Javon Evans and Ilya Dragunov and a Braun Breaker who is about to break out, right? Now, Javon and Ilya and Penta, they're not on the verge of breaking out, but they can. They can be established through this tournament. I think the WWE has done a horrible job establishing Javon Evans in this tournament. He should have beat Gunther. It sucks that Penta got hurt. It really, really sucks that Penta got injured and Solo had to win. If it was up to me, Penta beats Solo Sikoa any day of the week. Braun Breaker, he runs through LA Knight. Real talk. Ilya Dragunov, he beats main event Jay. He goes over on Jay. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Would you have chosen the 4 guys that I picked, that I would have personally picked for this tournament to be the final 4? Because the final 4 that we're seeing, it does not impress me at all. And it's very unfortunate that these are the final 4. It's going to be pretty lackluster if you ask me. I'm not calling for any of these 4 guys to retire John Cena. But if you had to make me choose, I'm gonna choose LA Knight all the way through.